What's up, Edmonton? It's Ryan here with Hauer Power Electrical, and I have tile experts, Oscar, tile extraordinaire here. And today we're going to talk to you about the Schluter in-floor heating mat system and the tile that goes on afterwards, and walk you through the whole process of what to expect. So, Oscar, tell me more about tile experts and how you guys bring quality to a job just like this.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the first things that we look at when we come to a job prior to doing the work is what kind of substrates they have, what kind of substrate they have underneath the current floor, whether it's linoleum, stick tile, vinyl plank, or tile itself. So then after that, we're able to see if they have enough substrate. We could just do DTRA, or we have to add more layers. And so for a heated system, we use the DTRA heat membrane. Then we install all of our coil, and then we fish it up, ready for the electricians to wire it up all the end and test it all out. We also make sure that the floor is leveled, and after we install the coil, we test that there is like amperage and everything's going through current, so that when we cover it up, there's no going back, right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. That sounds like you do a lot of our job for us. That's good.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it depends with which tile company and with which homeowner and with which electrician, because there's going to be some gray areas as far as the Schluter system, as to who runs the resistance conductors, those RTDs in the mat. Typically there's two, as well as who's going to run that heating cable set. As far as getting power to the Schluter system, though, from your panel, that is always the electrician's job.
Oh, that's true. One other thing that we do look at when we're in the consultation process is, okay, do they have enough power coming in? Are they like, maybe sometimes one that happens often is someone taking off their Whirlpool tub, and then they're going to have that dedicated line. So we're like, hey, if you are actually looking at heated floors, that might be our home run to the heated floor, so that we don't have to load the panel more. And the cost of running a whole new wiring system might be not as expensive anymore. So we do a little bit of that work in the beginning and make sure we talk to an electrician so that we're prepared for when the job begins. Yeah.
Right on. I love it. Yeah. With a bathroom this size, this is a larger bathroom for those of you at home that can't see the whole frame of this shot. But at the end of the day, this bathroom, being a larger bathroom, is going to have more heated floor, which is going to have more resistance, draw more current. It'll be a bigger size. So we always ask the homeowner or client first, what size is this heated floor going to be? And if they know, great. If they don't, then we ask for the specs and get the specs and then do the math for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the case of this one, we were able to switch it to a 240 volt.
Nice.
So that it was more energy efficient because of the size of the bathroom.
Yeah, great point. Yeah. I mean, a watt is a watt, but at the end of the day, if you can use a higher voltage, it's going to draw less current, which will just be easier on your mains and your panel as a whole load calculation. But if it's a 120 volt flooring system, then it's just going to draw more current. Typically, they all need their own dedicated circuit, and some will specify if it needs GFCI or not. Yeah, I want to talk more about this system here. So when we install any sort of heated floor mat system, typically they'll have two RTD probes. One is going to go down into the flooring mat, and it's going to be a little turkey baster style probe that senses resistance based on its proportionality with temperature. So as temperature increases, the resistance will adjust, and this will read what temperature that floor has. The second temperature probe that goes in there is simply redundant.
Correct.
So if you hook up both of them, you're going to get double the resistance value.
Yeah.
And it's going to say error. It's not going to read the right temperature.
So yeah, we do to install two sensors, which are those two that you're talking about, I think.
Yeah, RTDs, resistance temperature detection.
So then, and actually we've had a scenario where both of them failed. So we had one of the sensors go, we switched it to the other sensor. That one failed, and we talked to Schluter, and it was actually a faulty system. So Schluter is actually very good at cooperating with the installers when you can prove that you did all the process correct, you have the documentation and everything. So they helped us and the customer to get it all sorted out, and the customer didn't have to pay for anything. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Schluter. Send us some money for the next video.
Yeah.
Another thing on that too, now when we have the heating cable set go in there, at the end of the day, the heating cable set that is underneath the tile, it is still wires, and it is still fairly small gauge wires, and anything man-made is prone to human error, and they will fail with time, especially with shifting. So on our side of things, there's not too much we can do to protect those wires, and they may break. But on your side of things, is there anything you can do as a tile expert to safeguard that floor and protect that heating set?
Well, so one of the things we do when we know, for example, this bathroom is a barrierless entry, so there's no water barrier for the shower to the remaining of the floor. So one of the things we do on top of doing the Vitra heat membrane and then coil, we then do a scratch coat and lay a layer of Curdy, which is like a waterproofing membrane. So that is just another layer of protection before we actually start scratching the floor to, do our actual tile. So that protects it more. But yeah, when we are doing the installation, we're just very careful throughout the whole process and continue to have a tester so that we know nothing broke throughout the process and everything's working. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So here's something that might upset some people then. What's something that you would not do, maybe something that your competitors might do that would cut corners and make it more likely for these heating sets to break? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, like when you're installing it, just don't use, like they might use just a trowel because they don't have the proper equipment to like lay it, because you could easily do it with your fingers, but we use the float, which is like the grouting tool is like a hard foam. Yeah, so we use that to lay it all around, which a tile setter usually has, so that it doesn't damage or kink or scratch or like any sort of damage to the wire or to the coating of the wire.
So typically then, I know in our experience, usually when a heating set breaks or the RTD probes break or a conductor that's buried by tile breaks, usually not too much we can do. It just seems to happen.
Yeah.
In your experience, what have you seen when heating sets have broken in the past?
Yeah, just the one time, to be honest, when the actual system failed itself, with the sensors. Yeah,
Okay.
out of all of our heated systems, we have knock on wood, have not had any calls saying, "Hey, something's wrong." And when we did, we were able to go in, tackle it, find out. Because of the documentation, we were able to know exactly where the sensors were, and we were able to, get it all sorted out.
Nice.
Have extra tile is huge, because when we pop that tile with the sensor and we change do a splice to fix it and repair, the electrician will, and then we put the tile back on, the tile that we pop out is not going to survive getting removed. So that's one thing that we always recommend, is having at least one extra box of tile, even if you're not having heated floor. And then when you do have heated floor, we extra recommend it. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Always apply extra because it's going to break over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that said, too, on our end for electrical at Hauer Power Electrical, we do a lot of home service. So we get calls all the time about their heating floor system not working. And sometimes it's a loose connection at this. Sometimes it's a trip breaker. Sometimes there's a junction box buried and it's just a bad connection there. But sometimes it is broken lines in the flooring. And so with that, what kind of warranty do a lot of these heating set companies give? Are you familiar with their warranties?
As far as Schluter, we have always known that they back us for a lifetime on our installations. On the heated systems, I can't tell you if it's limited, but I just know that anytime I have an issue with heated system, waterproofing, anti-fracture, we have a rep with Schluter that we have direct connection with and talk with often, actually, on brand new installs. During the process, they even sometimes give us support, come to site, check it out, and do more marketing on their end. To answer your question, I think in terms of warranty, lifetime with our documentation, because we can provide. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, with these flooring systems, it sounds like heated flooring sets are the way to go if you don't have forced airflow or radiant heating.
Especially with the season coming.
Winter is
upon us, and cozy bathrooms are a thing.
Yeah, here in Edmonton, we get 6 months of summer and 6 months of winter, or 6 months of winter, 6 months of construction.
Yeah. And this one here is the second level thermostat. So it's touchscreen, but it's not smart. It does connect to an app, but it's not like you can install it to a HomeKit or the Apple HomeKit or the Google Home environment. It's just touchscreen with an app.
Okay. So let's touch on that. So with in-floor heating systems, this one here is a touchscreen, works really well. You were just showing me how it works. As far as Wi-Fi settings, can you get other systems that will connect to a smart app or your Google Home?
Yeah, so this one will connect to Wi-Fi. So it'll tell you basically the weather. When you come in, you could already know what the weather is going to be today. And it will connect to the Schluter app for you to know how, like, if you want to look into what the heated system is running like, the energy usage, you can put like your rate of kilowatt hours per something.
Find out your payment.
And then find out how much he's actually using out of your electrical bill. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. With that too, there's other systems other than Schluter, believe it or not.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to someone who's shopping for a different type of heated floor mat? Because maybe Schluter's a bit more expensive.
Yeah, Schluter could be the premium. We like them strictly because the support we receive, the warranty, and all of the things around it. We work with them for the waterproofing and everything too, so it's almost like a all-in-one. But there is New Heat, who has been for a while there too. Some of our clients, when we come in, they already have purchased it, have it ready to go, and all we have to do is do the installation and the prep work. So we've done that for them, but again, we're not involved in the purchase or like the whole other side of things, like the warranty. So if something goes wrong, the client is on that. There are other options. We have worked with Ditra, we have worked with New Heat and the other one, but yeah, we always lean towards Ditra when a client wants us to supply and install it.
Awesome. I love it. As far as supply and install, being the tile expert and us being the electrician, we always verify with the client, the homeowner, the engineer drawings, whatever there may be, what system they want to use. But would you advise the homeowner buys their own system, or would you advise the tile experts buy it, or Hauer Power buys it?
Well, yeah, we're the tile experts because we're doing the in-person consultation and check everything out. We do consult with the electrician whether like it's a viable option based on the panel, how much load, the home runs, and all that. But we like to supply and install it so that we can carry that warranty and protection for the client. Yeah.
I love it. Ultimately, yeah. I think the tile guys should be providing it as well too. Because you guys are going to have the sizing made out to a layout for your room as well too.
Yeah. And Schluter has a really neat tool online for our guys at the office. Whenever we have a floor, I measure it up and everything, or the sales guys does. And so we take all that to the office and we can just cross-check with their tool, which is the Schluter Ditra heated system calculator. And so it lets you either do it manually or do a drawing, and then you go through the whole process, and it just tells you, what coil, everything else, and just everything that you need to know on that. So that's also pretty neat. Yeah.
Decent. I love it. So there's all sorts of other appliances you can have in your bathroom. You can have towel warmers, you can have saunas, you can have steamers, you can have jacuzzi tubs. Maybe it's a shared laundry, you got a washer dryer in there, as well as your in-floor heat system. So you can have a lot of circuits come in your bathroom. Then it's not just going to be supported by one 15 amp circuit that's typical for lights and plugs.
Yeah.
So for us at Hauer Power, we're always responsible for looking at your panel, making sure your panel can support this new additional draw, which typically it can for the bathroom loads. And then we bring power from your panel up to your bathroom, or tag power from other spots where applicable.
Yeah. We also miss the washlet toilets these days.
Yeah, the bidets.
The bidets and all that. Another
home run that you need. You can get some really fancy toilets.
Yeah, you can get all the way.
With that said too, now on the tile side of things, is there any sort of extra precautions or weight bearing or any sort of tricks that you have to be aware of? Just like we have to be aware of a panel and its load demand. Is there anything on the flooring you have to be aware of?
Well, yeah. I guess depending on the selection of the tile size and material. So like, and then again, if we're laying the heated system in a basement where we're going on concrete, we then recommend installing like the Ditra Heat Duo. So it's an insulated Ditra Heat membrane so that it breaks that barrier from the concrete cold rising, so that you can have more of an efficient system that when it does run, it heats up and it doesn't get sucked in to the concrete first. So that's one. The other one is like, depending on the material of the tile, whether it's porcelain, ceramic, or natural stone, sometimes the rate of heating, again, once you turn it on, it's like steady and you don't want to change it often because it's obviously not as efficient. But natural stone is prone to scratching easily. So it's a very, it's raw material, it's soft. So depending on what you choose, you want to be careful for sealing it so that it doesn't stain easily. And then on a larger format, I mean, it's more like aesthetics at that point in time, whether you go a 12 by 24, 24 by 48, or even like a 24-24 or 18-36 we've also had. For those, it's really not that big of a difference. It's more in terms of heated system, whether we're going on concrete or on plywood, and to make it so that it's not drawing so much power all the time. Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you there. It sounds like you're saying once you turn it on, leave it on, just like an air conditioner, because it's going to draw more power to bring that temperature back up.
Yeah. And like you could take the edge off, and then when you know you're going in the bathroom, typically, you know, everybody going to work or whatnot, you want to pump it a few degrees up so that it's even extra warmer for you and it's nice and cozy. But then during the day, you could take it back down to like 18, 19 degrees. I think it's usually sitting at 22, 23 on this one during the mornings and evenings. And then during the day, it goes back down to like 18 degrees. Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, with some frequently asked questions, what is your typical quote process look like when you come into a bathroom and the client wants heated floor? What are the most common questions you get asked that way?
How much does it cost? And yes, it's more expensive than just installing tile. So then it does go up, and it is not cheap. But once you have it, most of our clients that have it, they're like, oh my God, I couldn't have it any other way. So then I do say that when you're doing a bathroom renovation, if you are going to think of things that you may regret, and heated floors is something you want, you should really consider like taking a look at the budget and see what you can do to fit it in, because you will definitely love it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's number one. Another frequently asked question is like, does it extend the process? Like how much more does it take on top of the
timeline of
the timeline? And it doesn't change it much. It's just like the fact that now an electrician gets involved. And then we have to do one extra step after the membrane is installed, which is the coil and the prep work of the tile. But it doesn't really extend it more. It's just like the material that gets purchased, and again, the other trade that is involved, the electrician. So yeah, that's another question that tile experts get.
Yeah. Sounds like cost and timeline are pretty much the main factors for that one.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
And then, they sometimes worry about what can happen to break. And I do go through what we just talked about, which, we are careful during the installation, and we have documentation about everything, so that if there's ever an error problem, we are backed by Schluter with their lifetime warranty, and that we will take care of any problems that may happen.
Decent. That's good. I know you take care of your clients. I know we take care of our clients. At the end of the day, it really comes down to the product itself. So my recommendation to anyone out there that's shopping for something like this is definitely don't go for the cheapest thing, because it's going to be way more expensive in the long run. You have to hire someone back, a tile guy to rip it up, an electrician to repair it, and then you got to do it all over again.
Right.
Might as well do it right the first time and buy the right stuff.
Yeah, actually, regarding that, the one thing we love about the Ditra heat system is how customizable it is. With some of those mesh systems like New Heat and other ones that come already in a mesh, so you kind of have to work with what you have. One thing that we often see is they miss areas like around the toilet when somebody is sitting to go to the toilet, or if they're brushing their teeth or using the sink really close to the toe kicks, they miss, and you can feel the difference between your toes and the rest of your foot. And so it's noticeable. So people notice it. And so we know those little things that happen, and make sure we cover to the area that you're always going to be hanging in, so that when you're there, you're not like, oh my God, it's not great.
That makes sense.
We like how customizable Ditra heat systems are.
And there's going to be a lot of things that we haven't touched on that are just familiar to us as a tradesman. I know I've done this for over 20 years, and you've done this for so long too. So things like finding cold spots. If you're watching this at home, it's not rocket science. Anyone can really figure it out and do it. But there's going to be a lot of little tips that we aren't even thinking of, because we're not here to explain the whole trade, the whole process. Yeah. But if you can see some value in hiring a pro like Hauer Power or tile experts to do the job for you, that might save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration. And you have a relationship with a Schluter rep.
Yeah.
I have a relationship with our electrical suppliers. So
there you go.
If something goes wrong with the actual products, those channels are already there, and it'd make the whole process a lot easier in the long run.
Exactly.
Is there any other questions that you typically get asked on these installations that you'd like our viewers to know about?
Yeah, I think after all those answers go to them, they're just like, when can you start?
That's pretty fair.
How about you? Any questions that you get regarding?
Yeah. Thanks for asking, Oscar. We have similar questions in the sense of timeline, in the sense of cost. More work, more products, it's always more money. I think most people are aware of that part. But we get additional questions such as drywall repair, especially running cable back to the panel. Cable's going to get there. We got to get it there somehow. So we do have to open up drywall. In a lot of cases, we do have to pop off trim. We do have to get creative with our fishing methods and our tools. But with that said, too, I mean, to have it done once and then have a drywall guy come in after and patch that, that's it. It's a game changer having a heated floor, especially in an older home.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Awesome.
My name is Ryan with Hauer Power Electrical, and that was today's edition of a Toilet TED Talk.
Yeah, and I'm Oscar Hungsberg with the Tile Experts.
Right on. So for your next bathroom project, give us a call. And if this video helped you at all, please watch some more, and hopefully we can bore you to death with some other trade tips.